Stop this video right now if chaos makes you feel alive. Because here's the cold truth. The man who panics first loses everything, while others rush, argue, explain, and implode. The dangerously calm man watches, decides, wins. What I'm about to show you is the calm Machiavelli trusted more than armies. Miss this, and stress will own you. Master it, and pressure becomes your advantage. Be honest, no performance. Drop a fire if you've ever panicked in a moment that cost you ripped leverage or control. You felt it slip. This is how it stops. Chapter 1. Why panic makes you predictable, and calm makes you dangerous. Panic is loud. Calm is lethal. Most people confuse calm with passivity. Machiavelli knew better. He watched leaders collapse not because they lacked intelligence, but because pressure exposed their inner disorder. Men are ruled by appearances, he wrote, and nothing reveals weakness faster than uncontrolled emotion. You know the feeling. A deadline explodes, a confrontation escalates, a decision is demanded. Now, your heart spikes, your thoughts race, your mouth opens before your mind catches up. You say too much, you move too fast, you regret it later. Panic doesn't just feel bad, it broadcasts. And once others sense it, they adjust. Against you. Picture this. Bad news hits the room. Voices overlap. Blame starts flying. Old you jumps in to clarify, justify, fix. Now, you speak fast, you volunteer information. You look busy. Result, you're seen as reactive. Machiavelli would recognize the mistake instantly. In chaos, speed without direction is surrender. Pause. This single sentence decides who controls the room in a crisis. The calmest nervous system becomes the leader, whether they want to or not. Read that again. Panic hijacks the brain. Calm restores command. When stress hits, most people's amygdala takes over. Fight, flight, noise. But the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for judgment, shuts down. That's why panicked people talk more and think less. Calm does the opposite. It keeps the thinking brain online. Neuroscience research shows that individuals who maintain slow, steady breathing under stress preserve up to 40% more decision-making capacity than those who panic. That's not mindset. That's biology. Machiavelli didn't know the terms, but he knew the result. Someone challenges you in front of others. Old you reacts instantly, explains, defends. New you says nothing, yet you breathe, you look, you wait. The room quiets. Then, one sentence, measured, final. The challenge dissolves. Why? Because panic gives the challenger momentum. Calm removes it. You've been told, show urgency, match their energy, respond quickly. That advice creates frantic men, not formidable ones. Machiavelli warned leaders never to mirror chaos. He who follows disorder becomes its servant. Calm is not delay. It's control of timing. You receive a message that spikes emotion. Old you replies instantly, clarifying tone, intent, emotion. New you puts the phone down. 10 minutes later, short response, neutral, controlled. The dynamic flips. Because urgency leaks power. Delay, used strategically, creates it. Behavioral studies found that people who delay responses during tense interactions are perceived as 67% more composed and authoritative. Even when saying the same words, timing is tone. Calm feels like inaction. Inaction feels risky. So people fill the space with noise, talking, reacting, moving, anything to reduce discomfort. But discomfort is where leverage lives. Machiavelli understood that discomfort exposes others, not you. When you remain calm, others reveal impatience, insecurity, poor planning, emotional dependence. You learn everything by doing nothing. A deadline is missed. Pressure spikes on old you, scrambles, apologizes, overpromises. New you asks one question. What's the fastest path forward? Silence. The room recalibrates around you. Calm reframes chaos into a problem to solve, not a threat to survive. Thousands who've trained deliberate calm report the same shift within weeks. Fewer confrontations, more trust in crises, better outcomes under pressure. People seeking their opinion first. They didn't become colder. They became harder to shake. Panic makes you predictable. Predictability invites pressure. Calm makes you unreadable. Unreadable men control outcomes. This is why Machiavelli prized cold blood. Not cruelty, but clarity under fire. Chapter 2. Machiavelli's Cold Blood Rules. How calm becomes control. If Chapter 1 showed you why panic makes you predictable, this chapter shows you how calm becomes a weapon. Quiet, control-built, and decisive. Machiavelli never confused calm with kindness. He saw calm as command of self, and self-command as the root of all power. When others rush, you slow. When others argue, you listen. When others panic, you decide. These are the cold blood rules, used by leaders who win when stakes are highest. You cannot think your way out of panic. You must physically interrupt it. The body leads the mind. Inhale through the nose for 4 seconds, hold for 2. Exhale slowly for 6. Do this twice. Your heart rate drops, your voice steadies, your vision widens. This breathing pattern signals safety to the nervous system, restoring executive function. Studies in applied neuroscience show controlled exhalation restores up to 40% more decision-making capacity during acute stress. Machiavelli didn't call it breathwork. He called it composure. Urgency is contagious. So is calm. The man who sets the tempo controls the interaction. Imagine. A crisis explodes. People demand answers, now. Old you responds immediately, offers details. New you pauses, looks around, speaks slower than everyone else. 1 sentence. The room slows to your speed. Humans subconsciously follow the calmest nervous system present. Machiavelli warned rulers never to mirror disorder. He who follows disorder becomes its servant. Set the pace. Others adjust. Panic thrives on noise. Calm reframes chaos into a problem to solve. Use 1 question. What's the objective right now? What matters in the next 10 minutes? What's the fastest path forward? Imagine voices overlap. Blame rises. You ask 1 question. Silence follows. Why? Questions redirect energy from emotion to structure. Structure restores authority. Weak men rush to contribute. Strong men close. Imagine multiple solutions are thrown out in a crisis. Old you jumps in early to be heard. New you listens, observes patterns, then delivers the final line. This is the move that preserves leverage. Silence. Nods. Leadership studies show speakers who contribute to last in high-stakes discussions are rated significantly more decisive and competent, even with fewer words. Machiavelli practiced this in councils. You practice it in rooms that matter. Stop. You've stayed this long, longer than most people can tolerate sitting with pressure. What comes next is the rule most people misuse. Used wrong, it looks cold. Used right, it drains panic from the room. Silence under pressure is not absence. It's pressure redistribution. When you don't react, others fill the space. They explain. They justify. They expose priorities and fears. Imagine someone escalates emotionally. Old you reacts or reassures. New you stays silent, neutral. They slow down. They self-correct. Why? Because your silence removes resistance. They collide with themselves. Machiavelli prized this. Men betray themselves when given space. Under stress, long explanations signal doubt. Cold blood demands short decisions. Use these forms. This is the decision. We proceed this way. That's not the move. Then stop. Behavioral research shows concise decisions delivered calmly are complied with 41% more often than those defended with explanation. Finality calms chaos. Debate fuels it. Panic is amplified by noise, notifications, opinions, interruptions. Cold-blooded leaders reduce input to regain clarity. Imagine pressure spikes, everyone talks at once. Old you stays engaged in the noise. New you steps back, stops responding for minutes, then returns with direction. This isn't avoidance, it's strategic withdrawal. Machiavelli withdrew princes from chaos to think, then re-enter decisively. Calm is proactive. When you remain calm, others mirror you. Escalation stalls, information surfaces, options expand. Calm widens the board. Panic shrinks it. Don't confuse calm with detachment. Cold blood is engaged composure, not apathy. You're present, you're attentive, you're just not emotionally hijacked. Machiavelli warned that indifference breeds resentment. Calm command breeds trust. Leaders trained in deliberate calm report. Fewer conflicts escalating. Better crisis outcomes. Teams seeking their direction first increased trust under pressure. They didn't become colder, they became reliable. To Chapter 3, the cold blood system. Make calm your default. You now know the rules, but rules collapse when pressure peaks, unless they are installed. Machiavelli didn't rely on willpower. He relied on structure. Stoics did the same. If you want dangerous calm when it matters, in negotiations, conflict, crises, decisions, you must train your body, pace your mind, and lock an identity that doesn't flinch. This is the cold blood system. Follow it exactly. Calm begins before chaos appears. Every morning do this. Stand tall, spine straight. Inhale through the nose for 4. Exhale slowly for 6. Repeat 3 times, then say, quietly, I don't rush. I decide. This is not affirmation. It's neural priming. You're training your nervous system to choose clarity over urgency. Machiavelli wrote that fortune favors those prepared before the storm. This is preparation. When stress spikes, do one thing first. Exhale longer than you inhale. That's it. Why it works. Long exhales tell your body it's safe. Safety restores thinking. Thinking restores control. Imagine bad news lands, voices rise. Old you reacts. New you exhales slow, then looks up. Applied neuroscience shows extended exhales can reduce physiological stress markers by up to 30% within seconds. Calm is mechanical. Use the mechanism. Never match urgency. When others rush, you slow, on purpose. Speak slower than the fastest voice. Move slower than the fastest hands. Decide slower than the loudest demand. Imagine a deadline collapses. Old you scrambles. New you asks one question. What matters in the next 10 minutes? Silence. Order returns. This is Machiavelli's tempo rule. He who sets pace sets power. Look at the timestamp. Most people can't stay with pressure this long. You did. That means you're ready for the principle most leaders never learn, because it feels uncomfortable. This next part is why dangerously calm men are trusted in crises. When panic spreads, don't reassure immediately. Wait. Your silence forces others to regulate themselves. Imagine a team spirals. Old you comforts, explains, fills the space. New you stays present, silent, attentive. They slow down, they recalibrate. Why? Because humans mirror the calmest system in the room. Neuroscience shows emotional states synchronized to the most regulated individual present. Calm propagates faster than fear. Silence isn't absence, it's containment. Machiavelli used this to stop escalation without force. So can you. Under pressure, long explanations fuel panic. Use compressed decisions. This is the move. We proceed now. Stop. Reset. Do this. Then stem talking. Finality collapses uncertainty. Uncertainty fuels fear. Behavioral studies show concise, calm directives are followed 41% more often during stress than detailed explanations. Cold blood shortens sentences. When stakes are high, reduce input, fewer voices, fewer notifications, fewer opinions. Imagine pressure peaks. Old you stays plugged in. New you steps away for 5 minutes, then returns with direction. This isn't avoidance. It's strategic withdrawal. Machiavelli pulled leaders from noise to think, then re-entered with control. Do this exactly. Day 1. Practice long exhales under stress. Day 2. Slow your speech in tense moments. Day 3. Ask one clarifying question during chaos. Day 4. Speak last in a heated discussion. Day 5. Hold silence instead of reassuring. Day 6. Deliver one compressed decision. Day 7. Reduce input. Observe outcomes. By day 7, you'll notice it. People escalate less around you. They look to you first. Pressure sharpens, not shakes you. Adopt this identity sentence. Pressure clarifies me. Say it before meetings, before confrontations, before decisions. Identity precedes behavior. Behavior creates reputation. Reputation is leverage. Machiavelli knew this. Stoics lived it. Panic makes you visible. Calm makes you decisive. The dangerously calm man doesn't win by force. He wins because others lose control first. Hold your center. Control the tempo. Let silence do the work.